Good day, friends. Today we're going to be talking about trucks, wheels, and boards on which to slide. Starting off with, we're going to talk about square-lipped wheels. Now, these wheels, you can slide on them. They are not the best for sliding, but they can be done. This is an ABEC 11 Zigzag Lime 80A. I learned to slide on these wheels. Probably wasn't the best choice, but they are wonderful wheels. I highly recommend. Anyways. A square lift wheel is where it's 90 degrees. The lip is 90 degrees. These have been coned a bit. But you need to break in the edge first in order to truly get the best out of your wheels. You can slide on these. It's just not as good as a rounded off edge. Alright, now we're going to talk about rounded lip edges. Now, rounded lip edges are a lot easier to slide on because of a rounded lip. Square lip edges, they like to dig into the ground. They like to have more grip. Now, that does not mean you should stay away from the square lipped ones, because these are lovely. Very smooth slide. But I would recommend a rounded lip if you are going to learn how to slide. We're now going to talk about core placement. Now, what that is, that's where the bearings sit in the wheel. Well, each of these affect your slide. You have what's called a center set. That's where the bearings are sitting right in the center, so it's an equal distance from the bearing here and bearing out there. And then you have what's called an offset, which is where the bearing is not quite on the side, but it's not directly in the middle. It's somewhere in between, like in a stimulus or a zigzag. Then you have what's called side set. That's where the bearings sit flush with the side of the wheel, and that's what that is. Center set offers you less traction and such, and it also, if your wheels start to cone, you can flip them around so you get an even wear pattern throughout them. Offset offers both, we'll get into side set when we go into offset. Side set offers lots of grip, but because of it being on the side, the wheels cone very, very easily, making them really good for free riding. But then offset kind of gives you the best of both worlds: grip when you need it, and slide when you want it. So that's the cores. We will now talk about the hardness, or the durometer, of the wheels. This right here is a 78A wheel. The lower the number, the softer the wheel, the harder it is to slide, but also the smoother the slide. The higher the number, the easier it is to slide and the harder the wheel. This right here is a 78A. This is a very soft, very cushy wheel. I would not recommend a really low durometer for sliding like a 78A. The Butterballs by Sector 9 are 80A, and I really like the 80A. It gives a very smooth slide, and it's not too bad to slide on. I personally like 80A. It is a little bit on the softer side again, so it will be a little bit tougher to slide on. Then you have this purple stem, which is 83A. Now this is what I would recommend, a harder durometer if you're learning how to slide, because it's a lot easier to kick out the slide and get it into the drift. Welcome back. We'll now talk about trucks. Now, your truck can affect how your wheel slides and how your board slides. The bushings also play a big part. We'll go into those later. But how low your truck sits will also help. These are Randal RIIs, and I really like these trucks. One of my favorite trucks. And so, depending on how loose your truck is, that will help how well you slide. The looser your truck's relatively, the easier it is to slide on, because you can turn the board a little bit quicker, gets the wheels braking traction sooner. And so, also, with the Randal RIIs, I have mine flipped right now, the hanger flipped. If you have your trucks lower to the ground, it also makes it a little bit easier to slide on because your board is lower to the ground. Alright, we're now going to talk about bushings. This is a bushing. This is a coned bushing. It comes like this, you don't cone it, but depending on your bushings, we're going to want to stop that because there's a kid screaming. We're now going to talk about bushings. Now, these just kind of affect how your truck turns is all. We're just not going to go into big detail. But this is a coned bushing. It comes like this. You don't have to cone it or anything. But essentially, the softer the bushing, and that makes it a little more turny. If it's coned, it offers more turn as well. So if you get a softer coned bushing, then it will help you make your trucks a bit more turny and not quite as stable. Alright, so with bushings, that does not mean you need to go out and buy new bushings, because pretty much the stock bushings for you are going to be okay. But if you do buy bushings, get Venoms. They're the best. Enough said. Hello. We're now going to talk about different types of boards. There are two types. There are drop-through and top-mounted. This board is drop-through because the trucks, you have to take the hanger off and drop them through in order to mount them on. Now what this does, it offers more stability and makes it a lot easier for sliding because your board is a lot lower to the ground, gets you a little more leverage over the trucks. Then over here we have a top mount, which is fairly obvious because you mount it just on the top here. And, excuse me, it makes it a little bit harder for sliding, but that is okay because it offers you more grip is what a top mount offers. And that is the difference between a drop through and a top mount. Drop through is better for sliding, but I learned on a top mount, so don't worry about it if you don't have a drop through. Thank you for your time for letting me tell you about different boards and wheels. We are now going to teach you how to actually slide now and get into that. But make sure you always wear your helmet, and here we go! Alright, so what a pendulum is, that is where you take it and you kick your board out to more than 90 degrees so your wheels start going the other way, then you bring it back in. Simple as that. That one was horrible. You need a board because you need a board. Duh. Alright. Helmet because you don't want to kill yourself. It's always smart to have one. If you don't wear one, you're an idiot. Gloves because you need to be able to put your hands on the ground, knee pads, elbow pads, you know, just so you don't scrape yourself up. Alright, so first off, I'm goofy, but what you're going to do is your feet, you want them to be about shoulder width, maybe a little wider, kind of whatever feels comfortable, but you want a wide stance near the wheels. What you're going to do is your front foot, you're going to want to have it slightly at an angle. I just find that it's a lot easier that way. Your back foot, it can kind of be wherever it can be like this, whatever you want to do. But you want your toes hanging over the edge. Because if you're back here, you're going to slip off and you're going to kill yourself. That's not fun. So you're going to have your feet about right here. The toes, you want to be able to dig in. Alright, now we're going to talk about weight distribution. What I found works for me is about, when you go down to do it, about 55% of your weight on your front foot and about 45% on your back. Alright, so when you're going to finally get low and actually do the slide, it's pretty easy to do. You're just going to come down, kind of cock your back knee in a bit and place your hands on the ground, that's about it. Just nice fluid down. You don't want to drop on your hands like that. You're going to hurt yourself and it doesn't look smooth. I want to come nice and down, place your hands on the ground all in one step. See how my toes kind of over the edge here? That's what you want. Alright, so when you go and after you crouch down, kind of just take it, come down. You want to place them right here and then that's your puck positioning. It's just come down, place them right here, and that's about it. Alright, so with the initiation of the slide, after you get your hands on the ground, depending on what kind of wheels you have, it's for the most part it's just going to start to kick out. You may just have to push out just ever so slightly with your feet, but for the most part, because the momentum of the board, it's already gonna start to initiate for you. And so you're just gonna go down and place your hands on the ground and it'll already start kicking out for you, and if not, oh well.
Alright. So when you first start out with your pendies, you're not going to be able to, just pull one off perfectly just like that. It's a progression. And we'll go through the progression on what should be happening, at least what I went through, and that you're not going to get it, right off the bat. It's going to happen over time. You're not just going to get it. It takes steps to get there. Alright, so the first part in your progression is just going to be a hard carve with your hands on the ground. You're not going to be going very fast. It's just going to be something like that. You're not going to be anywhere close to anything. Alright, so the second step in the progression is you're going to do a hard carve, but this time your wheels are just going to jolt out ever so slightly. So you're going to come down, and it's just going to be a loop. Something like that. Alright, so the third step in the progression is you're going to bring it out to about 90, then you're going to stop. Something like that. You're actually going to stop. Alright, so the fourth step in the progression is now you're going to be doing full 180s. These can be kind of intimidating, but that's okay. Once you get them down, they're fun. Alright, so the fifth and final step of the progression is the full pendulum. And for this, you're going to be needing a lot of speed if you have softer wheels. And so what you're going to do is after you bring it out to past 90 degrees, you're going to start feeling you're going to go the other way. And when that's the case, start looking over your front shoulder. In my case, I'm goofy, so I look over my right. If you have enough speed and you're in the drift long enough, once you look over, it'll just bring you right back. And if not, you kind of push your front foot back a little bit as well. Just kind of push it forward a little bit once you release the pressure off your back. So you're going to go out, bring it past 90, take it, look over your front shoulder, then you come back around, and that's how you do it. When you're doing your toe side pendulums, when you bring it out, you don't want to take it out just to 90 and back. That's bad. It'll be flat spots. Flat spots happen when your wheel stops spinning, and they just go straight. Now where whatever part's on the ground will contact will wear down faster than the others. Well, then the rest of them. Flat spots equals bad, uneven wear pattern. So bring it up just last night, or like that, and then bring it back down. Good to go.